1989 IndyCar season. It all comes down to this. Laguna Seca. Back again for second day in a row. Second stream today as well. But back for the finale of the 89 IndyCar Racing 2 season. Hope everybody's doing all right on this hopefully long weekend for most folks. Yes, more than 10 cars, Panda Medor, which will be good. I think that's going to help me out today, but we'll have to see. Hey Alpha Cat, hey Ian, JV, CCR, indeed this is happening today. Hopefully no landmines in the corkscrew. Nick, you're absolutely right. That was, if folks didn't see yesterday, we did the challenge race, the all-star race. Same track, 45 laps, just 10 cars. And it was a pretty pedestrian outing, I would say. But some good learning, and it's the same track that I'm racing today for the finale, so it was good to get some practice. But yeah, we hit a landmine in qualifying, so I'm very much hoping that doesn't happen today as we round Laguna Seca 84 times. Sounds like folks got some good food going. So we're back. It's the final season. If you haven't been here yet, race the entire 1989 kart season, full distance in IndyCar 2, and today's the finale. And things, I think it's been a pretty exciting season. Ups and downs. I did really well through the first part of the season, I feel like, especially, and it's definitely been a challenge on some of the road circuits, passing the lapped cars, and had a few just silly incidents passing lapped cars that took me out of a couple races that have made it very tight here. Made the finale exciting. At one point it was looking like this might be a runaway win to the season, but it's anything but. It's all up in the air today. So we'll take a quick look at the championship, continue our good old season here. So we're all the way down at Laguna Seca, final round in October of our fictional year. It's only taken me a little more than a year to do this, but hope it's been fun along the way. It's tough doing full distance races, a lot of time spent, but it's been a really fun season. So starting all the way back, you remember way back when, with Phoenix, Long Beach, Indianapolis, getting my first win of the season there. And then tough stretch for a little while, got another win, an unlikely win at the Meadowlands, which I did not expect. I talked about that race a lot in the lead up of it as going to be one of the most challenging, and it certainly wasn't easy, but snuck away with a win there. Also won at Michigan, so I was going for the Triple Crown, winning the first two 500-mile races and then coming to the third one at Pocono. Finished second to Michael Andretti, and Michael Andretti has been my nemesis, as you'd say, my championship competitor all season. His father Mario won at Toronto, but all the other Andrettis that you're seeing are from Michael winning. Had an unfortunate run-in with Rick Mears at Road America, trying to pass him just as a lapped car. It was so silly. That took me out of some solid points there, and have really tightened things up. Last time out at Nazareth, had a up and down race, a couple weird incidents and things, and I think ultimately came away with a decent finish there. But it's tightened things up with Michael Andretti winning. So we're at Laguna Seca. Here's the points championship as it stands right now. So I'm Ryan Axelson for the season, son of the late great Richie. 201 points overall, 4 wins, 12 top 5s through 14 races. Not too bad. 12 top 10s as well, of course. 4 poles on the season, which does pay points. And so getting a pole would be a very good thing today. Michael Andretti, though, second, just 8 points behind me. Just 8 points. So basically I have to finish in front of him to win the championship today. I think there's a few scenarios where it could go either way, but it's really my my goal is to finish in front of him. I think I could still get the win if I finish second, but also then get the bonus points, which there's bonus points for both leading the most laps and a pole. So it's going to be important that we do well. And I don't know how it's going to go. Based off the race yesterday, I wasn't the most competitive, but we'll see how it is. Emerson Fittipaldi then in third, and third and back, they don't have any shot at winning the championship, so it's just Michael and I, but there's still some battling back there. I don't think it's fully tied up between Emerson and Allenser Jr., but unlikely that they'll swap spots. Danny Sullivan behind him, ahead of Rick Mears, Scott Pruitt, Art Landyke, Mario Andretti, and Teo Fabi round out the top 10. Right, so we'll go on then to Laguna Seca. This is Laguna Seca as you know it, a little bit different than the modern track. The final couple of corners have been shortened up, but this is after they updated the track for motorcycles, and it does have the intersection of the track, not intersection, intersection of the circuit. I guess turns 3 and 4 and 5 there. So be familiar to folks. Very narrow track. Definitely, I did just a bit of practice since the race I did this morning, just to become reacquainted with Indycar 2, and passing the slower cars is gonna be a huge thing today. Safest bet, do a Senna. Yeah. I'm gonna try not to do a Senna, but you never know what's gonna happen in these things. We haven't had a lap 1, knock on wood, I don't think there's been a lap 1 big crash or anything all season. But yeah, we've got this race 85 laps. Is that right? Sounds like one more lap than I was expecting. Hold on. Gonna make sure I'm doing the right number of laps here today. I thought this race was 84 laps for some reason, but maybe it's 85, which is actually gonna make it pretty tight on fuel if that's actually the case. Let's see here real quick. Looking up my statistics on that. No, it's supposed to be 84 laps. All right, hold on. I do want to fix that, just because that would very much change fuel strategy, I think. 1 lap doesn't sound like a lot, but it's going to be very tight on fuel today. I don't know how the laps got messed up. I guess I was changing the laps because yesterday's race we did 84 or 45. I'll just fix that real quick. Everybody's talking about the killer corkscrew. I'm really hoping we don't have an issue with that today, but you never know. Basically, IndyCar 2's got some physics bugs every once in a while where the physics kind of freak out. And it's kind of really random. It's not due to this being an add-on track or anything like that. It happens in the default tracks too. All right, fixing the laps. That would actually change things. So it's gonna be a 2-stop race, but I have to run basically to the very extent of my fuel tank to get there. Just get this back on. So I've got to pretty much go like right to 28 laps if I can, to actually make it to the end of the race with 2 stops. I mean, run along series, lose it because of fuel wouldn't be impossible. So I want to avoid that. All right, I think I've got it fixed. We'll come in. There we go. 84 laps. Yeah. Bugs every once in a while. All right, so I'm gonna go straight to qualifying because we did a ton of practice yesterday. I just did a little bit of practicing myself, load up my setup here. So I need to qualify well. Qualifying is really important today. Make sure I start up front. We'll take a quick look at the tentative results. So a full field of 28 cars going to be racing. It's going to be a busy track. After the first 10 or so laps, we're going to start hitting some lap traffic, and things will get pretty busy. But we'll look at how folks are qualifying so far. We got Bernard Jourdain back with a 1:16.7. I'll certainly be able to do better than that. Look up front here. Michael Andretti on the pole already. Oh man. Tentative pole. They will have more laps to turn. So a 1:13.2 so far for Michael. That's a very good lap. I think I did a 13.4 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Though I could be wrong. So we'll go out and try to qualify. Hopefully he's not in my group and he doesn't end up on the pole, because that will give him a point. So we'll have to see. We'll go out and do the qualifying, kill the music here. Just a 10-minute qualifying session, basically best lap I can do will get me my spot on the grid. All right. So should have clear track at least for the first few laps. The way it works, they set you out on the track with about half the field out with you. But it's a random selection from what I know as to which cars I'll be qualifying with. Try to go a little more aggressive on the bars today. Yeah, we'll just run the first out lap without boost just to save a little bit of fuel so I can run the full 10 minutes. Goal, I think, just going to be run the full 10 minutes here and see what kind of lap I can do. Yeah, that's actually a good point, Andrew. So that would be Michael's first pole of the season, which is actually kind of hard to imagine because he's been so strong, but if he gets the pole, that'll be the first one. So he's basically come at me with the points championship without actually scoring any poles. Oh, rear end gets really loose there. Come down. So the end of the lap here is a little bit different than the track is today. I talked about this a bunch yesterday, but they actually lengthened this around 96, it sounds like, from some of the chat yesterday. So we're a little bit closer to the finish line coming out of the last corner. We'll start qualifying though. Let's try to get a couple banker laps so I'm not starting at the very back. Need to adjust to this from, if folks didn't see, I did some iRacing this morning, and man, it's a bit of an adjustment racing the Lotus 49 and iRacing to racing IndyCar 2. I should be able to get right up to speed here. Did a little bit of practice between, not too much, just enough to feel the car again. No force feedback in IndyCar 2. It's all about the visual sensation. Up the hill then. Love Laguna Seca as a circuit. Really, really awesome track. Probably one of the best in America. On the corkscrew there. Learned yesterday you can get the pedal down really quick coming out of the corkscrew. The car, no real on-throttle oversteer in IndyCar 2, so you can kind of abuse that. Around the final corner. This will be an okay first lap. See where this puts me on the tentative starting grid. Up to 10th. Okay, 13.8. But that was not nearly as quick as I can go, so we'll try to increase the pace a little bit. Nice to see you here, Eduardo. 1,000 subs was quite a long time ago. Curbs actually really don't mess the car up too much, so you can hit them pretty good. Oh, really throw the car in the kink there. A little bit slow at the apex though. Got the sequential shifter down to my right, so definitely a bit more chaotic than using paddle shifters, but a bit more accurate. They would have had H pattern in these cars in 89. No H patterns in IndyCar 2 though. I feel like the end of this lap wasn't so good, but we'll see what the time is coming to the line. Oh, up to 6th, all right. So 1:13.5. Had a Mario Andretti in the 5 car. Still looks like Michael might be up front though. Really would like that point for getting pole. It's gonna be tough to get a pole though. A little bit better through, what is that, turn 4? Car feels really good now. The tires are up to temperature. Understeer a bit there, but that's a much better run through the kink. Come up to the corkscrew. Oh, got somebody that set a time in front of me. Look at it in a second. Down to first gear here. Oh, understeer off the track. No, into the wall. Damaged my front wing. We'll have to pit to fix that. That was going to be a really good lap. So hold on. I want to make sure I don't actually change my tires. Or put fuel in the car. Man, that's not what I needed to do. Come in the pits though, we'll change the wings. Can't believe I understeered there. I just got on the throttle a bit too early and understeered straight into the outside wall. Not at the speed in the pits. We've got one car coming out in front of me. All right, so I'm P7 right now. Should have time to do at least one more lap, maybe two. The car should be all right. Just change that front wing. Yeah, hopefully get the bad luck out of the way early. Certainly won't push that hard during the race for most of it. Gotta look at chat. What would be the point of live streaming if I didn't look at the chat? All right, so come to the top of the hill. I got one car a little bit in front of me. I might give a gap just so I can get a clean lap. Should have enough time for 2 laps. So not qualifying over is a bad mistake, but luckily just damaged the wing, changed the wing. See a couple cars up there actually. We'll give plenty of space. One car behind me, looks like Teo Fabi. Should be able to stay in front of him. All right, here we go. Start another lap. Down to first gear, just roll it through turns 1 and 2. A bit wide there. There's no curbing on the exit of this one to help catch you like there is on the modern track. I don't know if this will be any quicker than my last laps, but we'll see as we come through the top of the hill. Try to actually get through here cleanly. Not a very good run through the corkscrew up on the curbs. A little Zanardi-esque through there. Push through the end of the lap, down to first gear. Try to pick up the throttle early. Got one slower car in front, I think it's Daco. Come across the line, there it is. Oh, provisional pole of 112.9. That was a much better lap than I thought it was gonna be. I'll go for another one, why not? So despite running into the wall, having to change the front wing, still did okay with it. Wasn't even a perfect lap, so there's a little more speed in it. I think it's Saline in front of me. Whoa. Slid the car there through the kink. Yeah, Michael's not even in second. I don't think he's in our session, so we lucked out. Saline's actually quick enough where I don't think I'm gonna catch him. Luckily I don't think there's a dirty air effect on the road circuits that's gonna matter. Might slow me up just slightly here. We'll be right on his rear wing coming out of the final corner. I ran a bit wide there. Scoop underneath him. Come across the line. Oh, man. I've got a lot of speed. Got enough time for just one more lap here. I did not think I'd do a 112.1, which is good. Ari Leindyke just does a 112.8. It was good that I pushed that lap. That sets Andretti back down to 4th then. Oh, right out onto the dirt. Happy I did the next lap. That's why you don't give any laps away. That's why I'm going to try to finish this one, just to make sure there's no chance to get overtaken here. Right up to the curb there. That was, I think, quick, but it always feels sketchy through there. Down to first gear, into the corkscrew. Almost lose the rear end there. A bit of correction. Not easy to catch the car in IndyCar too if it slides. Really wide, missing one of the apexes there, but I still think this will be a pretty good lap. Oh, gonna run really deep into the final corner. That was a really bad corner. Probably lost a couple tenths there. Come across the line though. Nah, not better. It was close though. It was a 1:12, 1:24. That's the session over. I think I got the pole. Man. Pretty good. Pretty good. So pole time here at Laguna. Not too bad. Yeah, I probably would have set my best time if I hadn't run off the final corner there, but still get the pole away from Arie Luyendyk. So quickly put my race setup in. 40 gallons of fuel, just making sure it's full wings for this one. Full front and rear downforce. Need that extra downforce. I think that's my best lap ever around here. 112.117. It was my best lap I've ever done at this track. Now, this isn't the same install of IndyCar 2 I've had forever, but that's not too bad. So we'll look at the starting grid real quick before we get going, but pole P1 to start, which means I do get that bonus point. Take it away from Michael, which is all important. Only one more bonus point on the table for leading the most laps today. So hopefully I can just run away from pole. Be a boring race for all you watching, but I'll take that. I would definitely take that. All right, but we've got Arie Luyendyk in second. Pretty good qualifying from him. He's been pretty quick. Bobby Rahal in third place. Then Michael Andretti, the other championship challenger, back in fourth. So he's going to have to get around a couple cars at least. But starting fourth, Scott Pruitt in fifth. Rick Mears starting back in sixth. He's the real winner. He won this race. Who said Rick Mears can't do road racing? Raul Boesel starting in seventh. Danny Sullivan in eighth. Mario Andretti in ninth. And Teo Fabi back in 10th. We'll see if anybody's in a weird spot. Emerson all the way back in 11th. Allister Jr. Emerson won the race yesterday, so he's back in 11th. Allister Jr. in 12th. Look all the way towards the back. Bernard Jourdain, John Jones, Guido Dacco, Didier Thay, Scott Brayton, John Andretti. All the guys you'd expect to be in the back. Yeah, Rick Mears was originally a road racer, but he had an accident in 84 and really messed up his legs. And so he kind of, from there, was never quite the same on the road circuits, but he still won once in a while. Yeah, AJ Foyt in 1989. He raced up until 92, I think. But here we go. All right, so 84 laps. I'm going to say it gets a little bit cooler than the race was yesterday with the challenge race, where that was like 94 degrees. So should be a little more grip on the track. Hopefully avoid. I had one really weird spin during the race yesterday that wasn't really like me just driving off the track. I had one of those as well. But we got a little loose in the corkscrew, and it was very strange. Should hopefully have less of that today. But 84 laps. I need to go at least 28 laps on a tank of fuel, if not more, if I can squeeze it. Just to make sure I only have to pit twice. See that slide through the corkscrew there? It's not bad. But that'll set me up for a two-stopper with perfect strategy, and it's all going to be around getting around that lap traffic. So hopefully I can run away a bit off the start here and get a gap. Once we hit traffic, just try to get my way through there without hitting anybody. It's going to be tricky to get around the lapped cars in quite a lot of the track. So like always, that's kind of been the trick all season. But it's been a long road. I appreciate all of those that have joined me this whole season. It's been a fun thing to stream. One of my favorite games of all time, IndyCar 2, and it's an old game. and it seems like everybody enjoys it. Hopefully I've been able to show some folks that if you can just look beyond the low resolution graphics, it's a really, really great sim, and gives a lot that just some of the modern sims, can't necessarily. So been fun, but we got it all on the table today. Hopefully we can come away with the win here, but we'll start Laguna Seca. Do just low boost for the outlap here. Luckily can start up front. The AI love to brake check you here when you're riding around. I'll stick with the pace car. Hopefully can get a good jump on Ari. Ari tends to be a bit slower in the races, so I'm hoping maybe he'll back up a little bit. Bobby Rahal, almost called him Bobby Labonte. Bobby Rahal, the other Bobby, he's been very slow all season, although he has qualified well at a few rounds. So he might be our best bet to kind of hold up some of the pack. Really hope Michael doesn't get around these two right off the line. Oh, thank you, Mr. Honky. Don't bin it at Mid-Ohio. Did I bin it at Mid-Ohio? I might have. I thought I did pretty well there. I know we binned it at Road America, so I hit Rick Mears. Now, Mid-Ohio was I did have a crash early on, but I came back to have like a really good finish to that race. So we'll try not to bin it, but thank you very much for the super chat. Pace car is a Camaro. It's the default one from Indycar 2. No, it's not Mears behind me. It's Bobby Rahal, aka Bobby Labonte. All right, pace car is going to pull off. I'll put up that boost. We'll watch Lindike here to get a jump on the start. Want a clean start, hopefully. Come up to the hairpin. First gear. It's tough to judge when to go. I don't want to pass the pace car before the green comes out. There it is, green flag. Final race of the season. Lindike's going to pull up a little bit on me here. So we'll go side by side down to turn one. Almost over rev the car. We'll come down. Heavy braking. Down to first gear. Run a little bit wide on the opening lap. Rahal slided in behind me, so that's good ultimately. All right, try to just feel the car out. It's full fuel, so I got to adjust a little bit from that qualifying. Lindike went for it on the start, but wasn't able to get around me. I think Rahal's going to hold him up a little bit behind me, so I just got to hope. Looks like Pruitt and Boiselle got around. What happened to Michael, actually? Michael's fallen back out of the top five. Mario got around him. Boiselle got around him. All right, we'll just focus forward, but best scenario right out of the gate here. Car skids sideways at the top of the hill. It's actually a really cool effect. Boiselle and Mario battling it up behind me. Let's hope they stay too wide for a while. You can tell how much more sluggish the car is with full fuel. Really can catch you out at the end of a run, coming back out on cold tires and full fuel after running light. All right, so leading the first lap. Need to try to lead, I guess, at least a halfway to lead the most laps. Oh, thank you, Went Golfing, the membership. Let's try to dance the car here through the infield. Glad you enjoy the 66 season. Decent start already. I really haven't had a race this season where I'll just run away with it, so could be the first, but we'll see. Long race to go. We've seen a few of these scenarios where it seems like maybe it's just going to be an easy ride to victory or something, and then out of nowhere, either from a mistake or the cars behind pick up some speed. A little easier on the corners. You can not throwing the car in quite as much. So he actually lost a 10th to Ray Hall. Ray Hall, I think Ray Hall was always pretty good at Laguna. I know Brian Herta is kind of the GOAT here, right? Maybe not the GOAT, but he always did well, and it was... Herta maybe didn't do quite as well at some of the other tracks, but he always seemed to do really well at Laguna Seca. It seems like that's been passed on down to his son. It is one of the corners is named after Bobby here, so I guess could be just his track. I don't know if he won here. I'm trying to remember. Come up to the chicane, corkscrew. Really functionally a chicane in IndyCar too. Elevation definitely does something in the physics, because you can roll down that whole hill. I've run out of fuel up at the corkscrew and been able to just roll down the hill, and you actually pick up some speed and everything. So the game does know you're going downhill, but it doesn't quite do the same thing it would do in real life. All right, pulled out a few tenths, thankfully. Be a little scary if Ray Hall was catching me. I mean, if they hold up the whole field, it could turn into one of those races, but things will get very different here in a second as I understeer so much there. Go up on the rear bars one scotch. Once I catch the lap traffic here, things are going to get really different. Wow. I didn't know Ray Hall won 4 times in a row. I should have known that. Was that in the kart era? IndyCar 2 doesn't feature any sort of system to rate drivers better at one track than the other. You'd have to manually change them, which I've not done. So, seems like a lot of times this season things have happened that mirror real life just out of sheer luck. Still right there, though. He might have actually picked up on me a little bit that lap. I made a couple small mistakes. Maybe not. He lost a 10th, so we'll gain. 84 through 87. Okay. He really liked the almost oval layout that it used to have. That alternate layout, or the original layout, also exists for IndyCar too. So if you want to race some older seasons, you can race around that oval type layout. Alright, so far so good. It's kind of incredible because it's the same exact settings as the race I did yesterday, and I really had no speed. But it's all about the qualifying and which drivers get that lucky draw. A clumsy end of the lap there. 79 laps to go. This is going to be a long race. This is one of the longer races actually on the road side. We'll pick up here though. I'm not sure what lap we're going to catch all the lap traffic, but it won't be too long. Some of them are quite slow. Keep your fingers crossed nothing strange happens up here at the corkscrew today. So Bobby Rahal still holding in second. Scott Pruitt up to third. I think we lapped him yesterday during the challenge race. Raul Boesel in fourth. Mario Andretti in fifth. Try to scroll down the results at some point, but probably in the pit stop. But no sign of Michael. I don't know if I've seen any cars in the pits. Be something else if he had a mechanical right at the start of the race. Car is starting to feel really good. Down 10 gallons of fuel. It's about a quarter of the way through this stint. We're on lap 7, so we're right on the money for the fuel. Need to make it to lap 28, ideally. We also did the additional pace lap, so I think we'll be fine on fuel, especially once we start passing the lap traffic too and having to lift off a bit more. I think it'll be just fine, but we will have to make sure we don't pit too early or anything. Not a lot of options for strategy in this one. It's to really run the tank dry and then pit. This race looked so far quite a lot like, I think Portland was the same way, or Cleveland, where I got out to an early lead and it seemed like, wow, this is going to be an easy race today. And then either my own mistakes or AI got quicker. Just didn't end up that way. So really need to drive a clean race here today. It's not trivial, especially with the lap traffic. Slide a bit there into the corkscrew. Just don't want to slide the car too much. Lateral load, you'll spin out. All right, so no lapped cars yet. I did actually make one change to the AI between yesterday and today. I increased their qualifying speed today, but still was able to get the pole. But they were a little more in line with their actual speed. Yeah, Mears had that rocket speed yesterday, but nowhere to be found so far. I'm pulling away, not super fast, but 5 seconds now on the pack behind, which is pretty good. It'll give me a little buffer once we get to the lap traffic. I'm expecting them to close up once I hit the lap cars, but I think hopefully net out that I'm quicker to get through them. It really depends on where you catch the cars. Through here, there's really no opportunity to pass. Front straightaway, any of the straightaways are really your best passing zones. All right, there we go. A couple lap cars, so it begins. All right, buckle up. In under 10 laps, catching some cars. So at this pace, we might lap some cars 8 times during this one. Understeer there. That corner, I always understeer through it. Missed the apex there. We got 2 wide in front of me, Daco and Bernard Jourdain, as we've called all season, Bourdain. Catch them coming out of the corkscrew, which is not a great place, but not the end of the world. We'll run a bit deep there into the corkscrew. All right, they've spread out a little bit, which is good. The weight here behind Daco. Come up the inside into the final corner, down to first gear. Get around one of them, accelerate out, get around the other. All right, past the first two. Oh no! What? Turbo failure. Oh no! That hasn't happened all season. What do we do? Oh man. That is brutal. All season I've raced without any kind of issues. Yeah, just like Mears did yesterday. Oh man. It came too quick. They're still in the first stint of the race. That's so upsetting. I don't think I did anything different. Man, turbo blown. I think, I mean, I might have over revved a little bit. I think blame the mechanics on that one. Oh my God. Who would have guessed? I was out in the lead, no issues there. Random mechanical failure. I don't know, what do we do? What do we do? That's crazy because I've gone the whole season and really not had an issue there. And then final race, what? 15 laps. 15 laps into the final race of the season, below my engine. I don't know. I don't know what to do. See some folks saying restart. Could restart. Maybe I don't know. Does that cheapen it at all if I restart? Yeah, I think I gotta go with it. I mean, it's tough luck, but it is what it is. I think I gotta accept the loss. It's tough because I could just restart it. Does cheapen it to restart. Yeah, probably over-revved the engine at some point, but who knows when it was. It's gonna be tough to tell by looking at a replay when it would have happened. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do here, this doesn't mean I lost the championship, all right? Because Michael still has to, I got a point for pole. Michael still has to finish to get enough points to win it. So Michael has to finish outside the points. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna simulate the end of the race, watch the results, see what happens, and then maybe we'll do a short run at the original Laguna Seca just to make the stream a bit longer so that if folks aren't here today, they won't know exactly what happened. But it's devastating. A devastating way to end the championship to get a loss like that. I don't know. I don't think we can watch the race if we accelerate the time. I think we can just watch the accelerated standings as they go. And they're not super quick, so it'll take 10, 15 minutes or so to watch the race through the standings. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do here. Yeah, so he has to finish 6th or lower for me to still win the title. So I guess we got to hope Michael doesn't do well. He could have already been out of the race. We haven't actually seen the results yet. I'm not ultimately super sad, but it's devastating in a way. I was excited to actually do the full race, do the strategy, but it is the way it goes sometimes. Yeah, but we'll do this. Like I said, we're going to go through and watch the standings and watch the rest of the race play out and we can react together, I guess. This is going to turn into a react video. We'll react to what happens to Andretti. Hopefully he doesn't finish in the top 5. But we'll see what happens with the season, and then afterwards I'll go and we'll set up the original Laguna, maybe do a little bit of we'll do a little bit of racing around there so I can show it to you all. I know Pavel was in here yesterday hoping I would show it to everybody because he's pretty excited about that track, so we'll do that as well. Man, I don't want to cheapen the results to the championship. There were a couple instances, I said this in the very beginning of the season, that, you know, if I had a scenario where like the first lap of the race, the AI did something weird, that I would restart it. And but this is really just kind of how it works sometimes. Unfortunately, makes it more important to perform well when you have the pace. We'll put in the music again, although I'm a bit sad now. So we'll jump down and simulate the end of this one. Oh, it hurts to do. So Bobby Rahal had the lead there. Michael's in 6th right now. So he's in the position we need him to. It's on lap 12. Oh, so we're only like halfway through the first stint too. But we'll see here. It is painful. It is painful. We'll see what happens though. So it's still under yellow, so the yellow itself will wrap up at some point. I don't actually have the old Laguna installed, so we will have to quickly install that. All right, they're back to racing. Michael's in 6th, about a second off of Emerson. We'll just have to hope that Danny Sullivan's a bit quick. He's only a second behind him. But yeah, it looks like Michael's not that quick today, which, thank God. So again, for folks that maybe joined late or had a turbo failure, 12 laps into the race, just a random failure on the car, and out of the race. So we're watching now. I got a point for pole position, and so that put our gap at 9 points. And so if Andretti finishes 6th or lower, which he is 6th right now, we will win the race. Now you have to imagine Mario would yeah, I just saw it in the chat too. Mario might have a slow pit stop at some point in real life. Yeah, I don't know if it was too much boost or what it was. I might have over revved it. I'm gonna have to go watch back the stream or something at some point to see what happens. See what happened. Hopefully, so I mean, currently though, he's still back there. We should see pit stops come up very shortly. Bobby Rahal, though, leading the way. Is he going to get his first win of the season right at the end? I don't think damage builds up over the season. Wow, the field's really closed up. Emerson's jumped up to 4th, and now Michael's right behind his dad. Whoa, a lot of swapping for position. I have to imagine there's some lap traffic in there. Everybody should be pitting here, so the order's going to go wild here for a second while everybody pits. There we go. Pit stops happening. 3 lap 28, 29. Right when I was expecting to pit. They'll come back out. So Michael comes back out in 6th, though he's just a few tenths in front of Danny. Come on, Danny. Oh, there's some more pitting. Oh, maybe that wasn't the pit stop? What's going on here? It's tough to tell what's going on from this view. Michael's up to 3rd, but I think he's got a pit still. There they go. That pitting. Changing orders. Michael's in 5th now. No. How did Bobby fall back to 6th? This is the most fun spreadsheet season of all time. Got a 200 people watching the ticking results here, wondering how it's all going to play out. But Michael's up to 5th now. Yeah, I guess I figured that out, Kieran, that the doesn't say pitting when they're not. So they just hit traffic and things got mixed up for a second. But Michael's pulled out a little bit of a gap from Danny Sullivan behind him. He's not too far off Raul Boisel as well. Motorsport manager, but you can't do anything. Kind of what it's like, huh? Man, the traffic really messes things up. I was really looking forward to driving it. And I've said, oh, Sullivan got around him. Come on, Danny. I've always known you could do it. Bobby, come on. You can get him too. I really want to see... Oh, no, he's got back around him. Battling back and forth. Michael Andretti back up to 5th. Danny Sullivan back to 6th. Bobby Rahal. They're all in a little pack, though. Bobby Rahal jumps up to 6th ahead of Danny Sullivan. They're all about 40 seconds off the lead in a little pack, so any lap traffic's going to open up the opportunity for them to get by. Danny Sullivan swaps it back with Bobby Rahal. About 2 seconds off of Andretti then. Looks like Emerson Fittipaldi's way out to the lead. All swapping positions back for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Michael trying to hold on to the championship. Up to 5th, though. Oh, and pulled out a few seconds on that last lap. 42 laps in. They're halfway through the race. Emerson Fittipaldi leads ahead of Scott Pruitt, Mario Andretti, Raul Boisel, Michael Andretti back in 5th with Danny Sullivan following him, and Bobby Rahal. AJ Foyt up to 8th. Somehow Foyt's come out of nowhere. Derek Daly in 9th, and then the rest fall a lap down. Bobby Rahal's faded back a bit. Michael's pulled out 10 seconds over just the last couple laps on Sullivan, and Foyt now. Come on, AJ, I always believed in you. This is more nerve-wracking than the race was. So Michael Andretti, 5th position, 8 seconds up on Danny Sullivan. We'll monitor the gap. Michael Andretti pitting for his final pit stop. Engine failure! Michael Andretti gets an engine failure! The Andretti luck comes again. He was in line for the championship. Oh, that's the best thing that could have happened. I think I got it then. I think I've locked it up. Engine failure for Michael Andretti. That falls him out of the order all the way to the back of the grid. Danny Sullivan picks up his position with AJ Foyt in 6th now. Scott Pruitt 45 seconds off Emo. So Emo, just like in the challenge race, Emo's way out front. It's gonna put a lap on probably the top 5, up to the top 5. That cursed Andretti luck. AJ Foyt passes Bobby Rahal for 6th. Just about a second off of Danny Sullivan. There he goes up to 5th. AJ is going to go for it. He's falling back. He's going to go a lap down. Unfortunately, we can't monitor the gap anymore. But AJ in 5th in a top 5. Yeah, it was an odd pit. I had a feeling as soon as I saw him pit that something was happening. So Emerson leads 50 seconds, 55 laps in, ahead of Scott Pruitt and Mario Andretti in 3rd, Raul Boisel in 4th, hanging on to the lead lap. AJ Foyt back in 5th. Thanks for the super chat, Race Car Lock. Crazy idea, hear me out. Modern various 2000s era IndyCars at Avis. Everybody wants me to race more at Avis. I might do something else there. Could be fun, but thank you for the super chat. All right, so it looks like Rahal, Foyt, Danny Sullivan are all still relatively close. There goes Rahal around Danny Sullivan up to 6th. So after leading early, Rahal fell off through the first pit stop cycle. They should be coming up to the second one any lap. Or maybe just took them. Emo is 3rd in the championship. There goes Emo into the pits for the final pit stop. Comes out, doesn't even give up the lead. Scott Pruitt, Mario Andretti pit as well coming out. They're not too far off each other, so we could see Mario jump up. Rick Mears in the pits there for a second. There goes the mid-pack pitting, all swapping positions. Dominic Dobson, Danny Sullivan, swapping positions. Dobson does very well sometimes. Other times he's extremely slow, but once in a while he must have a really diverse range. All right, so coming into the final 20 laps or so, Emo's about a minute ahead. Emo, unless something happens, Emo is looking like a pretty clear win here today. No, I didn't bin it. I blew a turbo, which might have been my fault, but devastating. 12 laps into the race, right at the beginning of the race, really. We're gonna do some more racing after this. Don't worry, I've got a couple ideas. Getting in though to the last 15 or so laps. Mario Andretti still not far off of second, but going a lap down. Emo might lap the whole field today. We'll have to see how it ends up. I can't believe Michael also blew. I mean, it would have been such a interesting race to see covered. To have both championship contenders blow their engines. All right, so Emo is out in the lead. So unless he has a failure, I just really can't see. Oh, Raul Boisel with the failure, though. Water pump failure, just 10 laps or so from the end. So he'll slide down the order. That's the end of his ride with the Domino's machine as well. See him in a different car for next season. So Emerson Fittipaldi leads it into the last 10 laps. With Scott Pruitt barely hanging on to the lead lap. He's just a couple seconds ahead, really. We'll look further back, see if anybody's changing positions here as we'll get towards the bitter end of this one. Mario Andretti in third with Danny Sullivan, Bobby Rahal top 5. AJ Foyt has slipped out of the top 5. Pruitt in the pits for a second there. No failures, just a quick pit stop right at the end for a splash and go, it seems. So Fittipaldi got around him and is now lapped the entire field. So it's really Fittipaldi's day. Yeah, Alonso Jr. not done so well most of the season. He's 2 laps down now. We'll come to the final few laps. A couple more positions switching. Bobby Rahal back up to 4th. Coming back, he had a really good start to the race, but everything really shook up. I guess I put the yellow out with my turbo failure. Just 2 laps to go for Emo to win the final round of the championship. All right, here we come. Final laps. Final laps of the season, 1989. White flag is out. Emerson Fittipaldi. Mario Andretti up to second. Good on Mario. Passes Scott Pruitt there. See if he can hold on for the final lap. They come to the line. Emo, I believe he wins it. The Patrick Racing Machine holds on for the win. Final round of the season. It'll be interesting to see how things change, but there it is. The final results. Oh, thank you, Steve. I was rewarded for doing the right thing. It's a tricky call. I got a lot of hate for restarting my Indianapolis qualifying when I binned it, and I can see both sides of it, but yeah, I think it would have cheapened it to redo the race. But there'll be some more racing in a second here. We'll take a look at what happens though. So Emerson Fittipaldi wins the race. Leading 56 laps, so he's going to get the most points for that. Ahead of Mario Andretti in second, Scott Pruitt back in third. Got Bobby Rahal in 4th, then Danny Sullivan back in 5th, and AJ Foyt in 6th position. Pretty good run for him last round of the season. Derek Daly back in 7th. Alonso Jr. in 8th, really nowhere today. Just surprising. Yeah, so I guess it's 2 former Formula 1 World Championships up front. Dominic Dobson sneaks another top 10 to close out his season. We'll have to see how many he got this year. Pancho Carter back to 10th. We're back up to 10th, I guess. That would be good for him. Rick Mears right outside the top 10. Pretty slow for Rick today. After such a dominant early performance in the challenge, he slides back to 11th. John Andretti then in 12th. Steve Saline in 13th. Guido Dacco back in 14th. And Ari Leindijk, who started 2nd position, back to 15th. More exciting than the challenge race. Yeah, at least I got to race in that one. John Jones finishes in 16th. Kevin Kogan back in 17th. Ludwig Heimrath in 18th. Fabrizio Barbaza in 19th. Randy Lewis in 20th. Bernard Jourdain in 21st. Didier Thays in 22nd. Scott Brayton finishes 23rd. Teo Fabi in 24th. So here's the starts of the retirees. Teo Fabi 24th with a gearbox failure. Raul Boisel with a water pump failure finishes 25th. Michael Andretti with an engine failure. Good old classic engine failure. Right around halfway through the race. Finishes 26th. And then Ryan Axelson. I just get the classic DNF instead of the turbo failure. I finished back in 27th. And then actually Roberto Guerrero finishes last with he just completed 7 laps, also with an engine failure. Man, what a race. It was an hour 48 race. I was very much looking forward to doing the race, so I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get to actually race much. There's the car getting hoisted onto the crane. But I think this is good stuff for us. I just want to save the results in case something bad happens. All right, so we'll exit out. There's the final result for this race we just looked at. And here's the final championship results. Neither of us got points today. 202 points though. Ahead of Michael Andretti to 193 for Michael Andretti. All the way back. Did Emo get points? I guess he did, but was he that far back? I guess he was. So wow, 161. So we were still like 30 points ahead of him. But getting the championship, despite all that, really disappointing season finale, to be honest. A lot of hype going into it, but that's the way it goes sometimes, and it makes the times when it's more exciting or head-to-head even better. But winning the championship ahead of Michael Andretti, just how we came into the race. Emerson Fittipaldi back to 3rd. Alonso Jr. in 4th. Danny Sullivan in 5th. Scott Pruitt in 6th. Rick Mears 7th. Ari Leyendijk in 8th. Mario Andretti in 9th. And Bobby Ray Hall in 10th position for the championship. So, quite the season, I would say. Just looking all the way back to the very, very back. All the way back to 33rd, Scott Atchison. I think only raced in the Indy 500. But an exciting championship overall. Kind of a weird finish to it, but still got the win. So, I guess you can't complain about that so much. And that does it. That does it. So, to maybe do a little bit more racing today, I want to do a little bit more. Might as well go out and show you all the original Laguna Seca layout, because it is a cool track. Maybe we'll do like a 20 lap race around there or something. There's 2 versions of it. There's a 1984 and a 1987. Yeah, it is kind of weird there's no championship screen. I don't know if there was one, to be honest. But there's a 1984 and a 1987 version of Laguna Seca. Curious what folks think is a little bit more exciting. It might be fun to check out the 1984 one first. I don't have any 84 cars, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe it doesn't do it if I DNF. I get the disappointing finale all around. Let's see if this works here. Just switching around my tracks. Hold on. I think they're named the same, so no, they're not. I'll try to get this installed. I did survive the corkscrew. I mean, it's not really, it's kind of a weird finish because I don't think I could have really done anything different. Why is it not showing up? Perfect. Gonna show off a track. Maybe I'm just gonna fully exit DOSBox. That's probably it. All right, so we'll pull up Laguna Seca 1984. We'll do a short race. Maybe we'll do a 25%er around it. So I don't know how quick the opponents will be and everything. I could do a different season of cars just for fun, if you want. Been working a bit on sprucing up an 85 set, so maybe I'll pick those. I'll show you the sim again. I did set the track record, which is always good. Got a ton of car sets and things installed. I have been working on an 82 set, which would be pretty cool. It's nowhere near complete though. Yeah, I do have this 1985 set. Maybe we can go out in. Be a little more fitting to the circuit itself. Very nice. It is. I didn't make this one, but I've done some edits to it. It's a really cool set. Go out. So we'll do a little bit of running around Laguna Seca 1984. I might lower the distance of the race a bit. Maybe we'll do like 25% race just for fun. I don't think we'll have to pit that. Maybe if I'll do a 36%. We'll see how far that would get us, and if maybe we'll have to do a pit stop. How long would that race be? 35 laps. I think that'll be good. Do a quick couple laps of practice because I just installed this actually. I've done some running around here before, but I've never really done racing here. Now for wings, I'll add a little bit of wing. We'll see how the car feels though. That's a good question. What are my plans? I don't know yet. I'm not gonna jump straight into the 90 season, but might do that. We'll do a couple laps of practice here. Let me kill the music first. So this should be cool. This is a newer track, I think, for Indycar 2. I mean, it's not super old. Might also show off there's a brand new version of the Detroit circuit that's being worked on. That might show off quickly that as well right at the end. But yeah, we'll try to do a little race around here. I'll do a couple laps of practice real quick. We can't do a race at Detroit yet just because it's not fully done, but so this looks almost the same, but we come down to where turn 1 would be on the modern track, and yeah, we just go straight through a little chicane complex, very narrow. This looks really, really nice though. This is where the track meets up with the modern one. Fast left-hander there. I don't actually even know how fast you can go. This looks a bit different too up here. Walls are closer. It's a very dangerous track. I guess fitting of the older style racing. Come up to the corkscrew again. Work our way down the hill. And this part is pretty much the same as we were just running on. Yeah, it's the Detroit that they used to go to. We'll show that off right towards the end too if there's enough time or anything. Should have enough time. Cut across the line. So I really haven't practiced much around here, so I don't know around AJ Foyt there. Or is that AJ Foyt? I actually don't even, I'm not sure if I actually know all of the drivers. I think that was AJ. Should be a pretty quick kink. Yeah, looks like it might just be a lift, maybe. This might not be the most up-to-date version of this, in case, Pavel, if you're here, I'd actually grabbed it out of the archive. But it's still really, really well done. It's very neat. That's why I want to get some of these older sets done. It's the 7 car. Who is that? Trying to think of who that would be. I think, you know, it would be cool to get all of the kart years into IndyCar 2 from 79. You know, the physics are always going to be 1995, although some folks have been experimenting with some editors recently that might be able to change the physics to better suit different years. So that would be really cool, but even with the 95 physics, I think it's still a pretty good sim for all things kart. And we have car sets from 87 all the way through. I think there's even modern sets. quite slow right now. I am at full fuel. First gear for the corkscrew. It's interesting. A lot of the track is the same, but there's some parts that are very different. The walls are a lot closer on a few parts of the track too, so big time penalties if you run a bit wide. Come up around the 7 car here. Short laps around this track. Yeah, it is a bit tighter the whole way around, especially though, obviously that first sector. I love that corner with the banking the way it is. Yeah, and you can see the cars appearing through the track a bit. Pavel's recently fixed that on a lot of tracks, so this is slightly out of date version of it, but it's still really, really nice. All right, starting to feel out the track. I just need to get these first couple of corners down. I think this one's downshift just a 5th, maybe 4th there. I think this one's just a lift. And send it. Oh! Car grips up quite a lot there. All right. Maybe need to stiffen the suspension a little bit. We'll try quickly making one change and hop into qualifying. Oh, exited out anyway. All right, suspension. 50s, 35s. Yeah, bottomed out, I think, is the issue. I'll make them a bit stiffer all the way around. All right, well, we'll jump into qualifying. Nothing too serious here. Be fun, though, to do a little race. And, yeah, it might have been Jeff Brabham in front of me. I'm going to shorten the race just a little bit, because I also want to show maybe a couple other tracks real quick. We'll do 25%. So just a quick sprint, but show off the track, show off some of the driving. And lower my fuel here. So we'll go do some quick qualifying, see if I can not start last, but you never know. All right. There we have our drivers. Now, the 85 season, I mean, we've been racing the 89 season. I did extra research on it so that I would know. I've watched a lot of the races and everything, so I haven't seen a lot of the 85 season recently, if at all. So I don't quite know all of the names and everything. Dennis Firestone, though, in 27th in front of us. Is it normal to have the rear spring softer? Good question. I don't know what's normal. Ooh, went a bit wide. Seems fairly normal in IndyCar 2 to soften the rear a bit. That helps make the car a bit more stable in long corners. Also makes you understeer. You kind of imagine it sitting on the rear suspension, you know, and I'm more familiar with setups in 60s Formula cars, and those you go pretty soft on the rear, at least if you're setting them up realistically. All right, we'll see how fast I can go. This is quicker than I was doing in practice, but I was on full fuel, so we'll see what a lap looks like here. Double downshift into the first corner, down to 4th. Missed the apex, but not such a bad run through there. See if I can actually do this one pretty good. Down to 5th. Okay, car doesn't bottom out that time. I was a little tentative, though. This corner is profiled a bit different as well. It seems faster. Way down from the corkscrew there. See what kind of time I can get. Hopefully I won't just start last. I do find sometimes the AI isn't perfectly, my speed, I guess. It really depends as well on your car set ratings and how quick the drivers are rated. Oh, I got a 54, so I got to pick it up if we don't want to start last. There we go, a little bit better through there. Nice carry speed through the left-hander. It's a really cool track. I said at the start of the stream I kind of like the modern version better, but I don't know. They're just a bit different. I mean, this was such a high-speed track, and you can see why they ended up changing it. It was mostly for motorcycles, but still, it's a pretty dangerous circuit. You would have definitely had to add a lot of runoff. Very fast track, though. Oh, up to 26th. All right, didn't bottom out, so I think my adjustment worked, but need to find a little bit of speed. I only got 6 minutes left in quali. I'm sure I'll get a few questions from folks joining late, but some things happened in the final round, and you can go back in the stream to see exactly how it all unfolded. Won't spoil it. Ooh, gonna run a bit wide there. We're up to 24th. So, still braking, probably a bit too much for that first corner. Through the chicane, flat out there. Down to 5th, left-hander a bit wide. Ooh, I'll run out onto the dirt, but keep my foot in it. Up the hill then. All over the curbs, squirrely under braking. Got through all right. Flat on the hill. I don't know if I'm gonna do very well here. Start from the very back. I cannot remember if I've re-rated the drivers at all, so that might be a little bit strong. I like to spread the field out. If you haven't noticed, I like when there's a lot of slow cars to dodge through. It makes it more fun. There we go, up to 5th. Behind Lyondike. That's gonna be pretty quick through there. Very quick through the flick, a lot of grip on the car. Right out to the outside, but not onto the dirt this time. This will be a good lap. You can see a car in front, almost forgot there were other cars on the track. Right out to that pit wall. Understeer my way right up to it. All right, pole 52-1. Feel like I could go even quicker, but we'll leave it there. Car passing me there. We'll leave the time there. That'll give me the pole for this. We'll have to see how fast the other cars are in race conditions. All right. So it's going to be a 24 lap race, so pretty quick one. Yeah, not such a bad lap. It's a lot of fun to run around this track. It's so different from the redone Laguna. Yeah, up front, Jacob William, that's who we're racing as now. Ahead of Mario Andretti, Jeff Brabham, Alonso Jr., Ari Lyondike. Got Alonso Sr. in here. Bobby Ray Hall, Danny Sullivan, Kevin Cogan, a lot of the same names. Johnny Rutherford as well, though. Emma is in the 40. Michael Andretti in the 99. And we get the Whittingtons in there as well. All right. So we'll just do a race. I'm going to put full fuel in it, which I'll probably regret. I don't know exactly how much fuel it's taking per lap, but we'll try this 24 lap race just for some fun around Laguna. And then I do want to do a couple quick laps around the new Detroit circuit, because I actually haven't checked it out since the most recent update. We can't do races there just yet because it's not ready, but it'll be nice to show it off. Hopefully can make it through this race today. At least one without a turbo failure. Yeah, we'll have a little too much fuel, but maybe it'll equal it out. I might be a little too quick for the AI here. A lot of times I'll speed them up a bit on the tracks just to make them handle better. Yeah, I haven't quite gotten to fixing the pace car in this yet. So ignore that cheese-looking pace car. Taka, I know that Detroit's not ready, but I think there's a version to download to test, isn't there? It'd be fun just to do a quick lap around it just to see what it looks like. It's the cheese taxi. All right, so 24 laps here. Not sure how they're gonna get a jump on me. Not sure how competitive I'll be against the AI, or if they'll blow me away or if I'll blow them away, but see what happens. Shouldn't have to pit or anything. It's just a quick sprint on the old Laguna Seca 1985 cars. There's the green flag. Mario Andretti gets a bit of a jump on me. Ooh, right up, squeeze me against the wall. There we go. Get the run out to the lead. Oh, gotta understeer. Not on light fuel anymore. Right out to the dirt, over the curb there. All right, we'll head up the hill. Mario's looking towards the inside. I'll run out onto the dirt. No. Try not to blow the turbo this time. Yeah. Shouldn't blow it if I'm shifting lower than 13. Guess I could turn the boost down as well. Kind of come around, maybe lead the first lap. To the signs. Might have clipped one. So it looks like I've got a bit of speed on everybody. Mario is hounding me through the first couple corners. He's backed off a bit. You can still see him there though. Actually, it's Axelson Jr.'s gotten around Mario. Yeah, the walls are very close in the corkscrew. Around a lot of the track, the walls are right there. There's some good onboards from back in the 80s racing around here, and it's a really cool track. There's a version floating around for some of the newer sims. I think Assetto Corsa. I think it's a conversion from R Factor, but it's kind of cool to see. All right, so Axelson Jr. is behind me, actually. He's racing in the Domino's car. Maybe catch some lap traffic. It's a quick little race here. See how it goes though. Junior's still right there. Trying to be a little easier on the engine. I don't know if, I mean, it didn't happen all season to get a turbo failure, so it might just be one of those days. Yeah, IndyCar 2 is a great sim to create any, in my opinion, any season from 87 through the late 90s. I think fit really well, especially on the kart side. Got all the car sets, all the tracks. We're finishing up, you know, the community itself finishing up the last few tracks that need to be done. Tamiami, Denver, and the Detroit City track. And I think we'll pretty much have every single track that was raced through that era, up until the mid-90s at least. So out in front, but Allister Jr. not falling away from me. He might actually be closing up ever so slightly. Just 20 laps to go. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the late 80s, early 90s Indycar, so it's kind of the perfect sim for that. And happy to see all the proper tracks getting done. There's a little period where things got really quiet in the IndyCar 2 community, but a few new folks have showed up and started making tracks as well, and absolutely awesome. Some of the best stuff coming out now that's ever come out for the sim. Really wide there. Happy you're introducing the young ones to old racing there, Brett. Yeah, the second race did not go as planned today. First race was tough. The Lotus 49 at Zandvoort this morning in iRacing. Won't spoil the exact result either if anybody's looking to watch that, but tough race. I raced, I think, a bit better than a week ago, but it was very, very much a challenging event this week. There actually is the Nashville Street Circuit. I'm not sure that's been fully released yet either, but that one has been made, surprisingly. The brand new Nashville Street Course does exist for IndyCar 2. There are some updated car shapes and car sets as well. I'm not sure the 2022 season has been done yet, but I know there are 2020 and 2021 cars with the aero screen and everything for IndyCar 2, if that's your thing. I kind of like using it as my nostalgia box a little bit more than racing modern stuff on it, but if you really like the sim and want to race the current field and everything, you could actually do that. Yeah, this is 1984 version of the circuit, and you can find it over at the IndyCarRacing2.net site in the archive, the exact version I'm racing on, or if you take a look in the forums, there's a link to an updated version. It just fixes a couple small issues, nothing major. But, man, we're checking out in front of the field with Allister Jr. behind. Everybody else is falling a bit further back. No sign of lap traffic. Allister Jr. is 3 seconds off of me. I don't believe they've modeled the aero screen in the cockpit, although that wouldn't be impossible to do. You can edit the cockpit. It takes a little bit of a, good eye for pixel art to do something well for that. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. Oh! Play chicken with the pit wall there. I have hit that on the other version of the circuit in practice. You almost can't see it as you head towards it, and you understeer right at it. Wonder if in the real race they had tires or something there. I'd have to imagine they did. The pit wall is very scary. Actually feels really good around here. I haven't driven this circuit much, but have fallen right in with it. About 2/3 of it is exactly the same as the one we were just racing, so that helps, but first couple corners, very different. It's an easier circuit to drive, I'll say that. Those couple, the infield section is pretty tricky. Man, understeer a lot again there. Maybe need to add some rear bar. to the final corner. Just saw Allensor Jr. back there. Holding station, a little more than 3 seconds off. Yeah, it's very fast track. It's got high-speed oval lap times, almost under a minute lap. I think that's actually, as well, as I run right out to the dirt there, one of the reasons it wasn't just safety for the bikes that they built the intersection, but it was also the lap time itself. I think the lap was too short. They needed a version with a longer lap time to hold the bike races, or continue to hold them. And it's a bit like older Interlagos as well, you're right. Oh, I can see one car up there, so we'll get a couple lapped cars. I'm pretty easily holding them off. I'm not even pushing 100% right now, as we'll run a bit wide there. Yeah, it is interesting, Andrew, that they didn't keep this as a viable layout, but yeah, I'm not sure, you know, how and why all the decisions were made. I know the center of the track used to be more of like I think a little lake or a marsh type area. And so they had to do quite a lot of work to actually get that to be pavable and everything. A lot of landscaping, and yeah, I'm not sure why they fully got rid of it. You can actually still see a bit of how the road went straight, even on the modern course. There's still some extra runoff coming down to turn 1. If you look at like Google Maps of it, you can still see how the track went. Yes, I should start. Oh, I read Pavel's comment there. Should start in the middle of the pack, you're right, but we'll actually catch some lap cars here right towards the end. Allensor Jr. is going to close in on me a little bit because of that mistake. Now we got to try to get by these lapped cars, which will be very tricky through the first part of the lap. All right, 12 laps to go. A bit wide there. They also raced Camel GT here, the nowadays known as IMSA. I believe Group C cars, which is kind of unreal. Come to the top of the hill. Not sure who I've got in front of me. Some of the tail enders. Dive up the inside into the final corner. I know the one, not the one directly in front of me, but the one in front of him is Dennis Firestone. 11 laps to go. A little bit loose there. You never know when you get on the curbs how it's going to make the car react. So Allensor Jr. actually closed in quite a lot on me that last lap, but he's going to get around these cars too. So coming to the corkscrew, not going to be anywhere to pass here. We got Firestone, a couple cars up. I know, get used to the names. That's what happens when you race the same cars all season. I'll pass this car in the same spot. When you race the same exact field all season, you do get used to the names. Follow Firestone in though to the leaving section of the course. Nowhere to pass here. It's going to allow Allensor Jr. to close up quite a lot. Oh, the car got so loose there. corkscrew. Ooh, can I pass him? Squeeze past here down the hill. That was a pretty daring move. Able to get the job done. I'll squeeze past one more car here. Right at the end of the lap. Might actually have Emo in front of me, so just nicked the wall. 9 laps to go. Hold out back 3.4 seconds off of Allenser Jr. Yeah, this might be Emerson Fittipaldi in front of me. I believe he raced in the Valvoline car. Yeah, no blue flags, unfortunately. Car, that's not Emo. Yeah, we need the next patch to come out for this to get blue flags. The Pirates did put blue flags in Grand Prix Legends, but they're terrifying. I talk about it all the time when I'm racing there, and ooh, man, I almost lost the car that time. Gotta be really careful there. What's going on? I might raise the front bar a bit. See if I don't cause that to happen. Car is just digging into the track there as I burn off fuel. Yeah, in Grand Prix Legends, they have blue flags. See if I can pass this car in the same spot. Right up the inside. There we go. But they, when you catch the slower cars, they're very erratic because they try to get out of your way. And so it becomes very treacherous to pass them. And might have been better if they didn't actually have blue flag logic. Yeah, tires might be a bit hot, you're right. See, I'm going to take it a little easy here. I don't want to... You know, this race does not count for anything. I don't want to throw it away. Get nice and easy through that left-hander. Just a few laps to go. And we're going to check out the new Detroit circuit right after this. Just a couple laps to show off how it looks right now. And it is a new Detroit circuit for Indycar 2. It's the original city track, but it might actually be pretty relevant again here. I don't think we've seen what layout Indycar is going to be running, but I think it's going to be somewhat similar to the original layout. They're going back downtown. Going to come across the line. 6 laps to go. Fun little race around this track. Yeah, Unser's falling off. He's got to get past all those lap cars, and I was really being very aggressive there, passing them. Across the top of the hill. Right, this might be Emerson. No, it's not. It's the 55. Not sure who it is. 5 more laps to wait in here behind the 55. Yeah, it's not the finale I wanted today, SK, but it all worked out, I guess. I was hoping for a nice, long, clean race, but it didn't work out. Having some fun at the 1984 Laguna here. It was a fun track. Try the same move again. That one scares me every time, but make it work. This was pretty much the layout of Laguna Seca up until 1987, 88, when it was redone into more like the modern layout that you will know from any racing, but it was specifically done for motorcycle racing. They are clenchers. They almost got a 10-second lead on Axelson Jr. So this didn't end up being too exciting of a race. Fun to pass the lap traffic, but fun just to fly around this kind of pseudo-oval style layout. Still a bit more dynamic. I think this is Ed Pym in front of me. Not gonna be able to squeeze by there. 3 laps to go. Just ran over the curb quite aggressively. Yeah, I think the last IndyCar race around this layout was in '87. I think by '88 they had the new layout, if I'm not mistaken. Longer run downhill here too than is on the modern track. This last corner is a lot closer to the start finish line. For a while too, the pits were actually on the right side here. All right, 2 laps to go. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chuck Norris in the chat. Which layout do I prefer? I was saying at the very start of this stream today, I actually like the modern one more, but now that I've done a few more laps around here recently, this one's pretty good too. They're both very good. I've seen a few comments in the chat about, you know, it'd be cool if they had kept it a multi-layout circuit, and I agree, but I don't know which kind of cars would race this type of layout. I know they do a lot of historic racing though at Laguna, and obviously this would be a more historic track. But yeah, it would totally change the runoff requirements and everything for all the corners. And I know today they actually have problems with sound. We'll come out of the final corner, 1 more lap to go. We actually have Gordon Johncock a couple up the road. I know they actually have sound issues. Oh my god! Oh no! Electrical system failure. I'm very lucky today. We'll roll up the hill. We're gonna see Axelson Jr. streak by. I know we get the yellow flag, but there's no way I'm gonna make it up this hill before the car runs out of steam, will I? What the heck? Yeah, this track is cursed. I don't have a clutch or anything, but rolling in first gear is as good as it. I'm not gonna make it to the top of the hill. If I did, we would definitely make it back to the start finish, but you can see the car just dies on the hill. We're gonna roll backwards. Oh, on the very last lap of our little fun race here. It is definitely cursed today. Man, no luck today at all. Well, that's gonna lose me the race, so I'll finish all the way back down the order. Axelson Jr. will get the win ahead of Mario and Jeff Brabham. Where did I end up finishing? Got Jacques Villeneuve here, but that's not the one that you all know. That's so funny. It's just fitting, right? The very last lap of the race, get a DNF with an electrical failure. Man. Maybe could have got a bump. Who knows? Yeah, but that's it. That's the end of that race. We'll take a look. We'll let it finish out here, but I will try to grab the latest Detroit. If I can find it real quick. Yeah, it's the 91 version of the circuit. It was just posted a couple days ago. Or yesterday, actually. And I don't believe it supports AI or anything yet. But we will be able to do a couple laps ourselves around it. I actually don't know the layout super well of the original Detroit circuit. We'll see here, though. Let this race finish, at least. Everybody pits. I don't think it actually ever finished. It's everybody pit. in the very last lap. All right, so that was a bit of a wet blanket as well. Yeah, get a DNF. That's weird. Everybody pit on the last lap. All right, we'll abandon the race there. I might need to restart the sim real quick here. All right, we'll just restart the sim real quick and take a look at this Detroit track. So this is brand new to IndyCar 2. And it's not quite finished yet. I think there's still objects and textures and all this kind of stuff to get done. Just going to calibrate real quick. And I think AI are in their infancy, but we can do a couple quick laps. Really need to see Detroit downtown. It's got a new menu screen and everything, which is cool. I think that was a bug that everybody didn't finish. We'll do a quick couple of laps here, just to show this off. Now, this is being created by a few points, but a few folks are helping, I know, but it's checkpoint 10 in the IndyCar Racing 2 forums. And yeah, they've been working on this for quite a while. The thread is some 25 pages. There's this testing setup. 20 gallons, that's fine. We're not going to go break any records today, but I want to just quickly show the track itself. Yep, there, Calvin, there's a video I already did on how to set up IndyCar 2 on a modern computer. It's in the description. Hopefully that'll tell you everything you need to know. All right, we'll come out of the pits. So, I actually just watched, I think, the 1990 race here the other day. We'll come down to first corner. First corner here is a long left-hand sweeper. Mario Andretti and Emerson Fittipaldi had an accident here, I think in '89. This track wasn't ready in time for my '89 race. We did the Belle Isle track, which I also like that track, but this one's the actual track they raced up until 91, I believe, through 91. Head uphill, a lot of elevation change. You can see all the objects and everything. It's very, very well done, this track. A lot of texture work and stuff. It's not easy to make a track look nice in IndyCar 2. Objects as well, you have to manually tell the sim in which order to draw them. It's not like a modern game where you can just place objects in Unity and they'll all render correctly. You actually have to assign them orders, and got the tram line going over the track here. It's quite cool. It's a nice little chicane. Very nice under the buildings, through the tunnel. So cool to have this version of the circuit. It's very accurate as well. It's built using street maps and everything. So the layout's about as accurate as you could imagine. Come down, this building's very impressive. Look at the, I mean, I know it's very simplistic compared to modern sims, but look at the detail in the 3D objects. You could definitely just make that a solid object if you, you know, if you just wanted to get it done. But there's care, a lot of care being put into this. We'll dive down. This is one of the most unique features on this track. You actually dive down. I think this still needs a little bit of work object-wise down here. I think then we curve. Is this the front straightaway again? We'll come a couple more corners. Hard braking. It's actually quite a complex and long layout. There we go. I think that's the final chicane. There's the pit entry. I'll do another lap. Maybe a little bit more speed, although I don't know the track very well, so can't go super fast just yet. And this might look really barren over here. Maybe they'll put a few more like objects and things, but this is actually right against the harbor, or the river, lake in Detroit, on the other side of where Belle Isle is, and so there aren't a lot of objects over there. There's just some grandstands, I think. A little bit wide there. But yeah, it'll be really fun to race here. I think they're continuing on with progress of it, so if and when I do the 1990 season, we should be able to race here proper and actually run the real schedule for all the tracks, which will be nice. under the tram lines. This whole area looks really, really well done. Looks very kind of depressing, but I think that fits the vibe. We got braking markers, which is good because that's a huge help. Back down to this interesting building. We go dive down. Yeah, I think this is a tunnel, which is yet to be completed. But once that's added, this will be nearly complete, I would imagine, object-wise. They just need to add a couple grandstands, which they don't probably have to make from scratch, although they might. The chicane here. Back out on the front straightaway. That's the city downtown Detroit circuit. It'll be pretty cool to race on once it's all completed. Here's our start-finish line. We'll stop it there. Alrighty, so neat track. Can't wait for it to be done. And AI and everything added. Does look really cool, though. I agree with you, Mako. Yeah, so get a new crew for the 1990 season. So interesting race and day today. I didn't expect it to go this way, but that's the way racing is sometimes. Hope you enjoyed anyways watching, trying out a couple tracks, racing around the original Laguna, racing around, showing you off the Detroit downtown circuit. I don't have plans to start the 1990 season immediately, but we should hopefully be there soon. All in all, though, pretty excited that I won the championship, so I can't be too sad in everything that happened. And also, this is very unpredictable, so it's definitely not set up in any way. It's a good fight for the whole title. But I appreciate folks joining me. I hope it was fun to watch. I hope the whole season was fun, and I'm sure I'll be back again very soon with some more. But until then, thanks for watching.